Hello and welcome. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Leyna.
And this is
Pass Me the Booze, a paranormal podcast where we discuss the history and hauntings of local and not so local places while partaking in adult beverages.
In each episode, we share a different haunted place and pair it with a drink.
This week,
Poveglia Island.
I thought it was Poveglia.
I think the G is silent.
Poveglia?
Yes.
Okay.
You're
I'm the Italian.
I'm taking away your Italian license. You're fired.
It's been a week, man. I'm about to, take my own Italian card away as I butcher some of the words in this summary that I have here that I did.
Don't let your mom hear this episode.
Oh, no. Don't my dad hear this episode. Oh, fuck. If you're my family members and you're listening to this, I apologize in advance.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lauren, would you like to talk about what our drink is this week?
I can try because I don't remember what you called it.
Okay, I'll talk about that. So we made I'm hesitant to call it a Bellini because it's not really a Bellini.
It's store-bought Bellini.
We're using Del Monte sliced peaches from a can.
Because peaches are out of season, so
They're very out of season. But we made it spicier because we like alcohol. So we also put some 99 peaches in the drink.
Yeah.
Which is also not traditional for a Bellini. A traditional Bellini is Prosecco with muddled white peaches. And it's delicious. It is delightful. It's like spring in a fucking cup.
Oh.
It's fruity, it's sweet, it's fizzy, it's wonderful. It's my favorite alcoholic beverage. This is like very much the pass me the booze level of Bellini that I expect.
So if you were expecting Coca-Cola, you instead get...
I think it's just cola. I think they took the Coca
You get
away.
Aldi's brand cola.
Yeah. Or we're not Dr. Pepper, we're Dr. Pip.
Dr. Pip. But it is really good. I still like it.
It has the good flavor. It's not what it's supposed to be. I know this.
Once peaches are in season again, we'll try it again.
We'll do Bellini's round 2. We'll do, next time you're out by me at the house in Quakertown.
Yes.
I'll take you to a place that does really good Bellinis.
Yay. Okay.
Okay. They're really good.
Nice.
And they've got really good food, so we can get food and we can drink Bellinis. All right. Shall we dive in?
Yes. Tell me about your stuff.
I shall tell you about the history of Poveglia Island. This is how bad this week has been. Okay?
Words don't work anymore.
Words don't work anymore. You've had 2. I've had 1, and I can't talk. It's a small island located between Venice and Lido in the Venetian lagoon of northern Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're looking at, the boot.
Yes.
This would be, up where the thigh part of the boot is.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah. At the under part.
The under thigh.
The under thigh.
Ooh, I love a good under thigh.
Yeah. So giving some geographic description, it's a small island where a canal divides the island into 2 separate parts, but it still technically is one big island. Right. So Poveglia was first mentioned in history, beginning in 421. 421. It feels weird saying that out loud, because you read the history books and it's like, oh yeah, 1700 or 17 BC, 17 AD.
Yeah.
So this is 421 AD.
All 3 numbers. Yeah, because we're used to not that, because America is not.
Yeah, we're not
as old.
No.
When we made it America, so we don't have those big castles and buildings from the year 421.
Like, I think it's really cool to put it in perspective of,
Yeah.
like, the history of America versus the history of, like, anywhere else in the fucking world. Because, no, we are such a young country, and I think a lot of people forget that.
Uh-huh.
Like, we don't have fucking, what do they call them?
Castles?
There's castles, but there's also something that's on Poveglia that I was trying to remember the name of before, like, actually getting to it, but we'll get there.
Okay.
No, but it's especially in Italy, because Rome was like
Oh, yeah, right.
Rome. That's as best as I can describe that.
We all know Rome,
You know
right? Very
Rome.
well.
At one point, the sun never set on Rome.
Sure.
You know?
Everyone was wearing robes and drinking wine and fucking each other. It was a good time.
You know what? I feel like that happens today still, so it's fine. Right.
Not as openly as I would like it.
Fair. That was loud, I'm sorry.
She said yes with her whole chest.
I love Prosecco. Fuck champagne. We drink Prosecco. It's the poor man's champagne.
Oh.
In America, it is. Like, that's like the joke, is that, like, Prosecco is what you get if you can't afford champagne. Like, this was $13.
Oh.
Do you know what the champagne, the same fucking size, was?
What is it?
It was $26.
Oh, okay.
It was literally double. And, I mean, this is... La Marca is a pretty decent brand. It is a product of Italy.
Oh, okay.
On point for our topic today.
Mm.
So, first mentioned in 421, people from Padua and Est fled there to escape the barbarian invasions that were occurring towards, like, the end of the Roman Empire.
Oh, okay.
So, like, if you explore the collapse of civilization, especially with Rome, which Rome is a perfect, like, case study for a collapse event in a civilization. There were several situations that created the collapse, one of them being they expanded so much and had so much land that there was no possible way to defend it. However, while at the same time, they were creating these systems that were reliant on one another. So, like, you know how at the beginning, this is what I get for taking collapse of civilizations in college. Remember, like, even now, we have supply chain issues happening.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's because it's spread out so vastly. Like, we don't get a lot of our shit from even America.
No.
So that's creating an issue. Rome did the same shit.
Uh-oh.
And then it started collapsing when they would, like, you lose territory. Because, like, barbarians were invading, or, like, people were rioting and being like, why the fuck are we still Romans? We're clearly not Rome.
Why is this happening?
Yeah. So, like, we have, like, technology and we are able to find ways around it.
Yeah.
Rome kind of did not.
Well, yeah.
Right?
So the same thing is kind of happening now, except it's going at a much slower pace because technology?
Pretty much. So people escaped the invasions.
Yeah.
And were on this island.
Oh. Uh-oh.
In the 9th century, the island's population grew continually, and it did over the centuries, until it was governed by a dedicated podesta, which is the name given to the holder of the highest civil office in the government during the late Middle Ages.
Okay, so like an ancient president or something.
Kind of like a mayor, because there still was like an emperor, like, I think, at that point.
They're just kind of chilling on this little island.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, they're still at, like, city-state level.
Okay.
Of, like, a culture. A society, rather. So, like, it continued to grow. It was being, you know, a fucking city-state. I don't know.
Cute little town.
Yeah.
In the middle of the lagoon.
Yeah. So then in 1397, Venice came under attack again.
Mm.
And the people of Poveglia were moved, and I'm about to butcher and just hand over my Italian card right now, to Giudecca. It was another island in the Venetian lagoon.
Oh, yeah.
So it literally was just like,
Next door neighbor.
go on over to that island instead, bro.
You can't sit with us.
Yeah, go away. So the island after that remained vacant for years.
Ooh.
So that they vacated in 1397. And in 1527, the Doge. I know.
I can't let you
Ready?
just skim over that.
The Doge, which is kind of like the elected lord and head of state in an Italian city, or in Italian city-states. Specifically, the term was used in Venice and Genoa.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was a very prestigious title.
I'm just picturing a Shiba Inu in, like, a very elaborate robe or a suit.
You're not far off.
You know the Doge meme?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You're not far off. So the Doge offered the island to the, I'm about to butcher another word, Camaldol is Camaldol. Yes.
You've been to Italy.
I've been to Italy. I know. I speak some Italian. This is my life.
That's it. You're done.
So the Doge offered the island to a group of fucking monks that were inland in the fucking mountains. Because I know that. I know where they are. I know of this genre of monk people.
This genre of monk. It's my favorite genre of monk, you know.
You know. The mountain ones. Kind. Very, like, air temple-esque type feel.
Sick.
But they pretty much were like, no. And they rejected the offer.
No, thank you.
Because again, these motherfuckers are inland in fucking mountains.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, yo, you want to come be on a fucking island in the middle of our lagoon over here?
No?
Yeah.
Question mark?
Yeah, why the fuck would they move?
Thanks,
This was
no
not...
thanks.
There was no incentive here. It was just a, hey,
you want this?
Do you want this island?
No, we're good. We're set. We're pretty,
Got Once on an Island just playing in my head as we do this too, by the way. Because I'm a theater nerd. So then, beginning in 1645, the Venetian government built 5 octagonal forts to protect and control entrances to the lagoon.
Okay.
And Poveglia currently has one of the last 4 that are still standing on its island.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the octagons, I mean, let's use our heads. It was a 5-sided building. It was pretty much a fort. It's a really big fucking fort.
Okay.
All right. So, and they built 5. One got knocked down at some point in history, but Poveglia's did not.
Cool.
Right? It's a military place for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 1776, Poveglia came under the jurisdiction of the, give me a second, I do know how to say this, Magistrato alla Sanità, which is pretty much the public health office.
Yay!
And it became pretty much like Staten Island.
Okay, yeah. Just
you know?
like the
or like Staten, like Ellis, like it became Ellis Island.
Yeah.
So like it was a checkpoint
yes.
for people and goods coming and going.
Cool.
By ship to Venice.
Okay.
Right? So keeping that in mind, like they do the inspections, right? To make sure that people coming into the city are healthy, the foods and the goods aren't like contagious in any way.
No shady business.
This was around the time of the plague.
Uh-oh.
So then, in 1793, 2 ships came to port with several cases of the plague on board, causing the island to transform into a quarantine station. In 1805, this became a permanent change under the rule of, guess who?
Who?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Oh,
The motherfucker, the short guy.
Lil Napoleon.
Lil Napoleon.
Oh, God.
He turned this into just an outright fucking quarantine station.
Oh, great. Good.
Right? That feels safe. That feels smart.
I mean, kinda, yeah, like, it's separated from, the mainland.
I mean, it, on some level, yes. But
Mhm.
who's gonna fucking staff it?
Right.
You don't have the technology, bro.
Gonna risk people getting sick. You know, trying to man the island.
Mm-hmm. So then, that lasted a whopping 9 years.
Mm.
And in 1814, the Lazaretto, the quarantine station,
Yes.
that's the word I was thinking of earlier, by the way,
Oh.
was closed.
Oh.
Because it was unsustainable.
Well, I wonder why.
I wonder why, too. And then, again, island was vacant. In 1922, the remaining existing buildings on the island were converted into, guess what?
I know the answer to this one.
Yeah, you can say it.
It was a mental institution.
Yep. And then later, it was used as a nursing home.
What the fuck?
Until it closed its doors in 1968.
Wow.
So it was running and like
A lot.
operational from 1922 to 1968.
Wow.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm not
that's-
great at math, but that's like 40 some
Yeah.
years right there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Basic and like knowing what the conditions were there.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find anything on that?
We get there.
Okay.
We get there. This is just like the historical overview.
The little timeline.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
this is our timeline. So in 2014, the state auctioned a 99-year lease
99.
of Poveglia, which would remain a state property,
Yeah.
in the hopes that someone would turn the hospital into a luxury hotel to create revenue and tourist location. The highest bidder in this auction was the Italian businessman Luigi Brugnaro,
Luigi, no.
who planned to invest 20 million euros into the restoration project.
Wow.
However, the lease did not proceed because his project that he wanted to complete did not meet the necessary conditions the Italian state required.
What were those?
I'm not sure. I couldn't find like the specifics on why they shut this guy down. But I have some theories because it gets sketchier.
Tell me, do we have some conspiracies?
A little bit.
Okay.
But so the main person who shut down the lease was the mayor that was in office.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So our boy Luigi played the waiting game. He first contested the fact that it was like canceled, but he played the fucking waiting game.
All right.
Other leases were also rejected, or the people bidding were bidding too low. So the government was like, fuck this. But dear Luigi ran for and then became mayor
He's like,
of
fuck
Venice.
this. I'm gonna make my own laws now.
So that he could then renounce any intentions for the island.
What?
Yeah.
So he completely flipped the script.
Oh yeah, no, this guy threw a fucking temper tantrum.
If I can't have it, no one can.
He threw a temper tantrum, got himself elected to the mayor, like, he became in charge of a fucking city just so that he could be like, no, we're not doing anything with this island anymore. You rejected me.
Hey man, sometimes the most successful endeavors come from spite.
I just,
there you go.
Isn't that amazing? It's
amazing.
It's amazing to me. So amazing to me that this happened. So that happened in 2014. And in 2015, a private group called Poveglia Pertuti attempted to put in a new park, a marina, a restaurant, a hostel, and a study center. However, as of mid-2019, this project has not gone and done any, like, there's nothing happening.
Mm-mm.
But they wanted to. They like proposed it. They were trying to.
Yeah. And then
But as of 2019, like that shit's not happening.
they just fucking stopped.
Yeah. So due to the fact that people was used to host people with infectious and deadly diseases, legends of terminally ill Venetians waiting to die before their ghosts returned to haunt the island grew.
Oh my.
And isn't that like great?
Oh.
Like it's just the legends just started.
Yep.
Allegedly, there were doctors who experimented on patients, specifically with crude lobotomies.
Yeah.
For those of our friends out there who don't know what a lobotomy is, it is when someone inserts pretty much like a very, very thin ice pick with a little hammer, and they go into the side of the plexus semilinaris of your eye, which is the little like
little inner
little
eye.
pink thing in your eye, which
Oh
a lot
my
of people
God.
think of as like the tear duct, but it's not. It's your plexus semilinaris.
Oh my God.
And it goes through your skull to your frontal lobe, where they then wiggle it around a little bit and pull it out. This was done because if you get damage to your frontal lobe, it completely changes your personality.
Wow.
It's also done from the side through the temple or through the ear, depending on like the century that we're talking about. Yeah. Can you imagine? Like, let's just talk about this.
Okay.
You got dumbasses with sharp, thin, long, pointy fucking ice picks and a little hammer at the end.
Tap, tap.
And they're going to get through your skull.
Oh my God.
To then scramble part of your brain.
Yeah, that seems legit.
Do you know how many people fucking died from this shit?
I can't even imagine.
Too fucking many.
Too many.
But it was also very common practice, and it was a way that a lot of quote-unquote doctors treated mental illness for years, because in some cases it did alter people's personalities.
Yeah.
It also turned some people to fucking vegetables.
Yeah, and that was their way of, quote, curing their patients.
Yeah.
Like, look, they're so calm and docile now. This method works.
I did it.
And, like, you said this place didn't close down until the 60s. Like,
yeah.
That was not that long ago.
No, it was not.
Doing this.
So, but I will say it was used as a nursing home
so
at the end.
Do you know when the
institution
closed?
I couldn't find a specific date, because honestly, what it kind of felt like based off of what I found was it started off as an insane asylum.
Yes.
Is what they were calling it on the papers.
Yes.
And then it kind of self-converted into a nursing home, with the patients going in being all elderly.
Huh.
So it was kind of like at the beginning, it was people who were mentally ill were admitted. And then toward the end, it was just like, Nona's acting really fucking weird over here. I think we need to put her into the mental asylum.
Yeah.
So they were just admitting a ton of old people. And it kind of became a nursing home of sorts.
Yeah, just like, oh, these former patients are now all old now, so I guess it's a nursing home.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's kind of what it felt like.
Yikes.
Reading through the papers. And that closed in 68. So 1968. Which is like 53 years ago. I know that number because that's my dad's birthday. I know that one.
My dad is in his 60s now.
Well, my parents are young. It's fine.
I'm just saying, like, putting in that perspective, that wasn't that long ago.
No. Like, when you put American history, or like, not American, if you put history in terms like that,
yeah,
it gets terrifying.
Yeah.
Like,
it actually feels like closer to where you are now, because when you think of historical events, just like it's a long time ago, it just feels like a story.
Right. Yeah, so doctors allegedly experimented on patients with really crude lobotomies.
Ugh.
And reportedly, one of the doctors jumped from the bell tower in the 1930s after ghosts drove him mad. After which, nearby residents claim that they can still hear the bell tolling, although it is no longer there. So Poveglia has developed this title and this like street cred as being the most haunted place in the world, due to the fact that, like, if you really like take a look at the timeline,
Yeah.
with it like set out in front of you,
Yeah.
it operated for so long as a place where they just kind of dumped people to die.
Yeah. From the what I've seen and heard, like, through the haunting documentaries or whatever, literally, yeah. If even someone was suspected of being sick during plague times, they would drag them to the island kicking and screaming, and that's where
Yeah.
you went to die.
So there's a Polish film titled Are You Alive? But in Polish.
Oh.
Which is literally the story of two little kids who showed a symptom, got dumped on the island, and then tried to escape the island while being hunted by plague doctors.
Babies.
Yeah, like that's the entire fucking movie.
That's so fucking sad.
But Poveglia started becoming like the set for a lot of places, like a lot of movies and shit like that.
I'm sure.
And I know that like Ghost Hunters have been there. A whole bunch of like other supernatural shows have done an episode on this place.
Yeah. Because
its lore has a history that spans so long.
So long.
And it's like so prevalent in especially like Italian culture. Like Penhurst for Americans is Poveglia for Italians.
Yeah.
From what I've been able to like grasp from research, because it's like Penhurst.
Yeah, if you were going there, you weren't coming back out.
No. And people weren't doing the right thing when people got dropped off either.
No, I would say it's Penhurst like times 10, because you have all of the history, like the wars, the plague, and then the hospital.
Yeah.
All piled on top of each other.
Yeah, it's definitely worse than Penhurst, but it's like but keep in mind that Italy is much, as a country, is much older.
421, everyone.
Of this island.
Jesus.
Just this island.
Christ.
Rome was there much longer than that.
Oh, and did you know during plague times they would make the plague pits where they just piled the bodies on top of each other and burnt them.
Yeah.
And so like I think about 50% of the soil is made up of human remains.
Oh yeah.
All the ash.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It's a thing. They make really good tomatoes.
Apparently, it does really help the
oh no, like
the growth of certain plants.
Burying a body and planting like a rose bush or a tomato bush over top of it. You've got yourself the best fucking tomatoes
Most
you're
abundant
ever gonna
plant.
fucking see. Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Ironically, in the little research I did, apparently there are peach trees that grow on the island, and they're some of the best peaches that people have ever tasted.
Oh my god, wait, that's so fucking relevant. We're drinking Bellini-ish. Ishes.
A little fucked up parallel for you there.
That's really... Huh. Wait. Yeah, I can taste the dead bodies.
It has just a little extra kick to it.
Well, no, there's a movie. There's a movie where, like, they invite people to dinner, they murder the person, they bury the person in the backyard, and they plant a tomato bush over top of it. And then they use the tomatoes from that tomato plant to make pasta sauce to feed it to their next victim. It's a whole fucking thing.
That's really...
There's a movie about it, and it's actually really interesting. But, like, they're not wrong. The science behind it isn't wrong. Like, a plant would grow better if a body was under it.
Yeah, you gotta think of all the nutrients that a body provides.
We provide a lot. And you know what? I know that this is like a thing now that's going around the internet.
Mm-hmm.
People eat dead mushrooms, and mushrooms eat dead people.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I have started like eating mushrooms more slowly. For me, it's like a textural thing.
Yeah, me too.
I can't get past it sometimes, but
so
like
weird.
Like mushroom soup, like a mushroom soup that's like just completely like smooth.
Okay.
I love. I've been looking because the like cook in me wants to make these.
Yes.
Enoki mushrooms.
I don't know.
They're the long white ones that like kind of like look like they're together, but like you could peel them off like string cheese.
Yes.
Apparently those in like certain types of like Asian sauces, like chili sauce or like chili oil and like a whole bunch of like seasonings and stuff. Apparently those are fucking phenomenal.
Ooh.
The only issue is that I have not found Enoki mushrooms.
I mean,
but I did just find an Asian market near me.
Yes, support your local Asian markets.
True, but I'm also terrified to go alone to places because I don't like to go to new places by myself because I have this wonderful thing called anxiety.
Yay!
So I need to find a partner in crime who will come to the Asian market with me. So I can buy Enoki mushrooms so that I can make Enoki mushrooms to see if I even like Enoki mushrooms.
Listen, you dunk anything in soy sauce, I'm there. Our order was just dropped off. I'm gonna go grab it from the porch. Back from our dinner break. We're also back with some sambuca.
Yeah, because we're still in Italy. Wait, I got this.
Yeah.
Gotta get the ring to hit it right. Well, salute.
Salute!
You okay over there?
That's thick.
It is thick. For those of you who don't know this, Lauren can't do shots without a chaser.
No, they cannot.
And for those of you who also don't know this, I constantly do shots without chasers. Lauren's in pain.
My poor little taste buds.
All right, so we have sufficiently shared a timeline and the more historical aspects of
Poveglia.
Do you like how my Italian accent gets thicker the more I drink?
I do. You know what I've also noticed is that my Delco accent comes out a lot when I drink.
Yo, you know what? We do get a little bit more verbally aggressive the more drunk we get. Mm-hmm. I will say that.
I'm not even from Delco, but my parents are, so I grew up learning the Delco accent.
There you go.
So I say home like home. If any of you have ever seen Mayor of Easttown and how Mayor talks, that's basically how I talk when I drink.
It's true.
Except that's I don't say true. Water like a monster.
Listen. I will say this, like depending on not just even how much I've drank, but depending on how tired I am.
Yeah.
And who I'm around. I stop caring if I'm saying water versus water.
Really?
Yeah, because my parents both of my parents say water.
See, my dad has said water like through my entire life, and I never picked that one up.
Yep, both my parents go water. And my dad says eggs.
Eggs.
So sometimes when I'm saying the word egg, it comes out egg.
Oh no, I do that too.
I know you do that too. But like, so we were prepping the food for the Halloween party.
Yeah.
And I forget her name, but
Mariah.
I was gonna say Kim Possible.
Kim
Possible like asked me what a couple of times when I was like, I'm gonna make deviled eggs.
What are they?
She's like, what are you making? I'm like, deviled eggs.
Eggs.
And she's like, what? And I'm like, deviled eggs.
The things that chickens poop out.
It's like, boom. All right. I'm ready. Ooh, shit. Fuck, I might not be. I'm ready to hear spooky things.
You ready for some ghosts?
I'm ready for some ghosts.
As I reach down for my phone charger, because I'm at 10%.
10%.
I want to make sure I get through this. So, nicknamed the Island of Ghosts, one of the local sayings goes, when an evil man dies, he wakes up in Poveglia.
Oh, shit.
There's your intro.
Damn. All right. When an evil man dies, he ends up in Poveglia.
Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind, friends, evil friends, my evil little friends. So, Poveglia Island is said to be so evil that people refuse to set foot on the island, and fishermen won't even fish near the area as it's believed that the island will bring you bad luck. So, yeah. Years after its abandonment, fishermen would actually end up pulling up body parts that got stuck in their nets, and they continued to pull up bones in the years to follow. So, understandable why they don't fish near that area.
I mean,
over 160,000 people that died there.
yeah, but you know what?
Hmm.
Are we sure they were people bones?
I'm sure there are some animals, but like
I'm trying to like pull like the grasp of like hope here. Are we sure it was people?
I don't want it to all be people. Please don't be all people.
I mean, I can't imagine it's all like a Soylent Green situation over here.
It's people. If you haven't seen the Soylent Green movie yet,
you need to go watch
you're
it.
In high school, no, you will. They made us watch that in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I watched that for fun.
There you go. No, but yeah, a lot of the like articles and documentaries I watched, they were just like, yeah, we pulled up like arms, legs, heads, all that fun stuff.
You know, I would, as like anthropology, archaeology person over here, I would love to be on a dig.
Yeah.
Where I'm just pulling up body parts.
So we're gonna get into that a little bit, actually.
Like forensic anthropology, like is something that like I love and has always interested me.
Yeah.
And I know a decent amount about human anatomy because,
Mm-hmm.
well, my hobby as a child was looking up human anatomy, which is why
perfectly normal as a childhood interest.
Yeah, you know, it's a coccyx, plucky simulinaris, just the fun different body parts. It's fine.
It's fine.
I'm normal.
And that's what brought us here.
Oh no! Oh no!
Full circle.
Full circle.
So
why are you friends with me? Like why?
Because I share the same interest. What do you mean?
I'm fucking like we admitted this off mic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weird.
We both are, and that's why, and our listeners are as well, and that's why we're all here today.
No, you know what? Our listeners are weird in a good way.
Yes.
Own your weird.
We love you. Weirdies unite.
Don't let anyone yuck your yum.
Yep.
just, all right, keep going, please. Just
all right.
Let me stop.
So, it's, the island is still completely off limits with the exception of researchers and eventually paranormal shows like Ghost Adventures and and Scariest Places on Earth, who got permission to film on the island.
See, and so I'm going to like pitch this to you.
Yes.
I feel like if we go to the Venice state government,
yes,
and be like, yo, we want to record an episode on the island. Here's my Italian heritage.
You have about 5,000 euros in your pocket right now.
What does that translate to dollars? Because I forget.
I don't know.
I feel like the euro is like more expensive than a dollar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just slide across the table 5,000 euros.
A $5 bill.
Right?
Do you see this
good.
president here?
Just keep the police off our back for like 4 hours, right? So as I said, the island is still off limits except for the, TV shows that got permission to record there. And if you've ever watched the early Ghost Adventures episodes, the footage that they play in the intro, most of that is from Poveglia Island. So most of them like yelling and most of like the footage, that's from that episode.
Oh shit.
Because they got a lot from that.
Well, sorry, that was very loud. Clearly, it's called the most haunted place on Earth for a fucking reason.
Sure.
The reason being, it's got such a fucking long history of shit.
Hundreds and hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years.
Many a moon. So this island It's technically still off limits, but it's not impossible to find your way there. So most boats they'll just refuse to go near the place because of its history and it's literally crumbling, so no one wants to be liable if you get injured. But I think I found one website that actually offers boat tours. They just sail around the island. They won't actually dock.
Is it because no one's allowed on the island, or because they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
See, I want to go on the island.
I know.
What do you think would happen if we took like one of those boat tours and then we like
Kinda
jumped?
slid them a few euros.
No, that's nicer. I was gonna say jumped off the boat and like swam for it. I feel like the two of us could make it.
Good luck. I have a fear of open water.
Same, but I feel like the two of us could make it.
Sure. I would just rather bribe them with money than swim in the lagoon.
I'm cheap. I don't know where you are.
But of course, there are many people like us, many thrill seekers that try to sneak across the lagoon. So for example, in 2016, firefighters had to rescue a small group of Americans because of course they were Americans.
Fucking A, come on. You're already giving us a bad name?
Sorry.
What?
So they had to rescue a small group of Americans after a passing boat overheard their screams.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Of course that's why. Oh!
Being loud and obnoxious. But others who have been able to sneak past patrol boats have vowed never to return to the island after hearing the moans and screams echoing off the walls to a point that makes it unbearable. One person even states that upon entering the abandoned hospital, they were told, quote, "Leave immediately and do not return."
By who?
Someone that didn't have a body.
In English?
I'm going to guess it was an Italian, and it was an Italian resident who tried to sneak onto the island.
Okay. Because, like, I would be unsurprised to hear that up until, like, a certain point, it was just Americans being assholes trying to sneak onto this place.
No, I'm sure there are local, Italian kids that sneak onto the island.
Oh,
100%.
I 100% believe that there are, like, Italian youths who just go onto this fucking island and, like, get high and then go home.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a thing.
No, and it was a thing. For a long time, it was, like, considered a playground for some of the locals.
Yeah.
Where they would just go swimming and, eat the peaches.
I have strong feelings about the peaches at this moment.
The human-grown peaches. Okay.
Nutritious. Delicious and nutritious.
Sure. If you're Jeffrey Dahmer, I guess.
Hell, when in Rome.
Bye.
I've been holding that joke in for so long, okay? Let me have it.
Props. Alright, so this one gets a little dark. So...
Wait. Pars, darker.
Yeah.
Darker than us saying that the kids are like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah,
it's delicious and nutritious.
It just progressively gets worse. Just taking a bobsled down the hill.
Oh, God.
Of ashes that are made of bodies. Anyway, at one point, a family received permission to visit the island, hoping to buy it to build a vacation home, because of course, but left before the night was over and would not give a reason as to why they left so quickly. The only thing that is known is that their daughter's face was ripped open by something and she needed 20 stitches.
Yo. Okay. But, like, let's dissect this a little bit.
Right.
A family goes to the island with permission because they're going to buy it.
Right. Scoping out the land.
How much you want to bet they're mafia?
Yes. I'm not challenging the mafia. Please don't come after me. I'm speculating.
Yeah. Familia. Come on.
Yes.
It's fine.
Familia.
But, like, how much do you want to bet?
Uh-huh.
That they were mafia?
With that kind of money?
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So how much do you want to bet that if they were mafia, La Familia, that it's not that something supernatural happened?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it wasn't as impregnable as they believed it to be.
Perhaps. That's literally all I have on this event. So,
Alright. Well,
who fucking knows? But
I'm pouring shots. Listen, do you realize that we've done a couple of two-parters and not done shots? We broke our tradition.
Correct. I'm sorry to my family that I have to see tomorrow morning.
Just, if you see Mary Jane, just blame me. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah.
Just tell your mom it's my fault. It's fine.
Can do. So recapping just a little bit of what you said before, there have been several attempts to restore the remains without success. One most recently, I think, was in 2015. I'm not 100% sure on that. When construction stopped during the process without explanation, as you said.
So
up until 2019.
So like in 2015, they had started to try and create like a park, a hostel, a study center,
make it like
a restaurant,
big tourist
something
stop.
else. Yeah, it was gonna be like a little fucking functional college area, for lack of better terminology.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it from 2015 to 2019 comes around and it's still not done. There wasn't a lot of like documentation on what was happening, which I'm not surprised by, because I say this affectionately, because again, I would move to Italy in a fucking heartbeat. But like, they shut shit down. Like, they archive shit and they make it like not public record very fucking quickly over there. I mean, for Christ's sakes, there's the fucking Vatican, which is an entire city in and of itself.
Right, that's a whole nother bag of worms.
At one point, we were like in a lot of like the touristy areas with like the museums and shit. And you could not go an entire like block without seeing at least 3 sets of soldiers.
Oh shit.
Because it was one on each corner, and then a couple patrolling in between the corners.
So why do they need so many soldiers around?
It's a great question. I don't have the answer. But I do know that if they like even thought you had taken like a picture of them or something, they came up to you and asked to see your recent pictures.
Oh, that's scary.
Because I watched them go up to people and like confiscate phones and cameras to see what they had taken pictures of.
Oh my god.
And I was like, well, I know what I'm not doing.
No thanks. Yeah, I don't know what the political climate is over there. I'm sorry, but if someone knows, I would love to know what the fuck is going on.
They've got quite the political system over there. And like, we in America we pitch a fit over a 2-party system.
Right.
Let's try 100-some plus parties.
Uh-oh.
What would fucking happen? Because they have an election with over X amount of parties, and it's way more than 2.
So as you mentioned, Venice wanted to try to make money off the island to turn it into the resort, but people would just apparently refuse to work on it. And personally, I think because of that fear, I think that no one has actually fully investigated the island in an archaeological sense.
Well,
because of that superstition.
I will say, just based off the knowledge that I have, from a purely anthropological stance, Italy has this view of archaeology as being a hindrance. Because, well, they are so rich in history.
Yeah.
That, as an example, we went to the circus in Rome.
Ooh.
So, it wasn't an actual circus the way that people think of circus, but it was where the Roman circus happened in Rome.
Okay.
And we walked, and I pretty much, because, again, anthropology, archaeology is like something that is so, to me, like foundational. I pretty much did like an oversight walkthrough of the site.
Ooh.
I have literally a pocket in one of my bags full of artifacts that I found just doing a walkover of that site.
Oh my god. What?
And I have pieces of terracotta, I've got marble pieces,
Ooh.
I've got fossils. Like, I legitimately,
Fossils.
we walked over this place. We were maybe there for 30 minutes.
Oh my god.
And I had every 5 minutes, I was bending down and picking something up and putting it in, like, my backpack.
There's something here.
Like, I will show you next time I see you. I will bring it over because it's still in the same pocket because I'm fucking weird.
No, I think that's a legitimate thing in that area, is that they try to build these resorts and new structures, but they can't because they keep finding these ancient structures that they can't destroy.
But their opinion now, because of that,
Yeah.
because to them they view it as a hindrance.
There's just so much shit here.
What they do is they just take the dirt and they take the artifacts and they like put it elsewhere. So like if you're in Italy, like especially like Rome or like Venice, and you find yourself on like a gravel road.
Yes.
You are walking on artifacts.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if you look down and really take the time, and if you have the knowledge and the eye for what you're looking at, you will find pottery pieces, you'll find bits of screws, you'll find marble pieces that were hand carved.
Wow.
Because I walked over a grassy area in Rome and got a pocket full of fucking artifacts that I got through security and brought home. Jesus. Which was more impressive. More on that later. But like, it's, to them, they do some archaeological excavations and like research.
Yeah.
But only if they know the site to be of major historical significance in a way that shows favor to them.
Right.
So like, and I say this affectionately because I want to move to Italy. But so when I went to Italy, I went to Roma, I went to Venice.
Yes.
Florence.
Okay, yes.
Venice. Firenze is Florence.
Okay.
And while we were there, we went to this park that was literally like an amusement park. Ooh. That's how they treated this place. It was so cool.
What?
They treated it like a Disney World. It was really, really fucking cool. But you went in and it had all of this history. And I have a couple of fucking artifacts from there too because I pocketed them because I'm a fucking weirdo. And my big marble piece actually comes from this park.
Nice.
And when I say big, I mean I have a solidly like decent sized piece of marble.
Oh shit.
That was hand carved on the one side that I was like, that's going in the pocket.
She held up her hands. It was like the size of like a small loaf of bread.
Yeah, it was good size. And it was unearthed walls and like the outlines of buildings that you find very common in archaeology. Ooh. Before like restoration, as like the step of preservation and restoration comes into play. Mm-hmm. It's the outlines of the buildings that you find.
Okay.
But it was so well done that you could some of the buildings were completely unearthed. They were dilapidated and like falling apart, but like it was so well done that you found the mosaics that had been on the walls.
Yeah, and the
flooring.
I'm sure. Yes. Oh my god.
And it was absolutely breathtaking to be there. We spent,
I can't imagine.
We spent a good like 3 hours at this place. And like I got yelled at for taking pictures on the wall and being disrespectful, but I was like, I'm sorry, it was just so cool.
Remember this.
But it's if they could turn Poveglia into that.
Yeah.
I would see it being such a revenue point because we as a school group were not the only group of tourists there. We had met so many other, like, English-speaking people, and I say English-speaking because they were not American.
Okay.
Or not just American. There was a ton of people who had come from around the world to go to this place. And knowing that, I think that Poveglia would be another copy of that in a different part of Italy.
I agree.
That could, one, create a revenue.
Oh, 100%.
Which Venice wants desperately.
They already have people sneaking on there. Like, why not just
make them pay, monetize it?
That's what fucking
A.
Penhurst did.
Yeah. But it would also share the history in a way that was educational.
Yes.
And, like, would put the location in perspective.
Yeah, and the alternative, like, I know a lot of people don't want others to, mainly corporations, to build on that land for profit, but what is the alternative? It just sits there and rots.
Yeah.
There's no restoration. It just sits there and it decays and then we forget. It's just a haunted island that we don't pay attention to.
Well, and we talked about this with Penhurst. The importance, or not just Penhurst, we talked about it with Penhurst, we talked about it with Eastern State. The importance of preserving the history so that we can learn from it.
Yeah,
and not just forget the history and, like, just move on.
Yeah. And that in that way, I think my perspective has changed a bit on the little haunted attractions that they put on, because in a lot of ways it is disrespectful, but it's the main way that they get people to keep it alive, and we can learn the history of the place. We can learn how not to repeat our mistakes and things like that.
It's a point of preserve the history so that we can learn from it, because unless we learn from it, history is going to repeat itself.
Absolutely.
As, again, a historian, I fully fucking believe that.
It's happening right now.
It's happening currently. It's insane to look at this and look at the historical record and be like, did we not learn the lesson?
Haven't we done this before?
We've done this before.
Right.
What the fuck are we doing?
Hello? Mom, come pick me up. History is repeating itself and I'm scared.
That's what America's doing currently. It's fine.
Christ alive.
I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Back to the ghosties.
The spookers.
Seeing its fair share of horrors, the island seems to continue to play them out. So as you said, when the island was used as an institution, patients would report seeing strange shadows and figures that looked to be from an earlier time, as they described, sometimes with their flesh rotting away from the sickness where they were once afflicted with in life. Patients would also hear sounds of wailing in the night from what some people believe were the plague victims. The doctors, of course, didn't believe them.
Well, except for the one who threw himself off the bell tower, but...
Except for that guy. Yeah, so as you said, the doctor that basically mutilated his fucking patients...
Yeah.
quote, fell from the bell tower to his death. There is speculation as to how this happened. Whether it was his guilt for how he treated his patients, unlikely. An actual patient seeking revenge, or the belief that he was being driven mad by the paranormal activity he was experiencing. There are also reports that he didn't die right away.
Oh no.
So a mysterious mist appeared, engulfing his body and choking him to death.
Oh. Oh, that's nice.
I mean, the way I imagine it is that a ghost, like, pushed him out of the tower, and then he fell and didn't die, and then it just had to come down, just like, Why haven't you died?
Why won't you die?
Damn it.
Well, no, so
You make me expose myself like this.
I will say the historical record does state that there was evidence that he was going insane.
I believe that. I mean,
Because
isolated on an island.
Isolated on an island where there's only very few people who were, like,
Mm-hmm.
mentally sound.
Right, exactly.
Totally can see him going insane. But there is a record of him losing his sanity.
Yeah.
And claiming that the spirits around him drove him mad.
Yeah.
Which caused him to climb to the top of the bell tower and throw himself off.
I totally believe that. Like, I believe the island, with its history, had some sort of negative energy tied to it, along with the fact that he was with his patients 24/7. That's just a cocktail of disaster for someone that's probably not mentally stable. So, whether by himself, patient, or ghost, either way, decades later, as you said, he's reported to still be seen in the bell tower, and nearby residents claim to hear the bell, even though it has been removed for decades. But even within recent years, urban explorer Andy Thompson visited the island within the last couple of years, I believe. While he was there with his exploring buddy, he actually did hear the bell on the island.
Mm.
So that's a recent experience that has happened.
Ooh.
But you know what's also weird?
What?
Is that, it's not related to the story, but when I was looking at the maps of Poveglia, the whole island is actually shaped like a bell.
Is it really?
Did you see that?
I didn't see that. I mean,
I think it's on my computer, but I'll post
hold
it.
on, wait.
No, just look up Poveglia Island map.
There's Google.
Yeah.
Oh shit. You're not wrong.
It looks like
a
bell.
If I hold my phone upside down,
it's an upside down bell.
It's literally an upside down bell.
So that's where the bell went.
Shit.
The bell was the island the whole time.
Dun dun dun.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan twist for the ages.
Except for he left Pennsylvania and went to Italy. Okay. Well, but see, like, to me, that's really cool.
Right?
And, like, there has to be psychological aspects to that.
It's like a staple of the lore.
It is a staple of the lore.
I wonder if it's known, like, if that's a thing. Oh, the island is shaped like a bell, because I didn't see anything that, like, mentioned that at all. So, there are also reports of voices, screams, and other strange noises by those who have visited the island at night, and researchers have even recorded an odd electromagnetic field within the perimeter of the island, despite there being no source of electricity. So several mediums and paranormal investigators who have visited the island have even seen the spirit of a nurse running down a flight of stairs in the hospital as if she's afraid of something. During the Ghost Adventures episode, their guide actually refused to step into certain areas on the island because of past experiences and bad feelings he got being close to the area, telling the crew that they could go in and explore themselves, but he wouldn't step foot inside a few of the buildings, and soon after he requested to leave the island, and they cut the day tour short.
I wonder why.
It feels like a lot of the locals are very superstitious.
Well, Italy.
About this island.
Italians are superstitious. Hard stop.
Hard stop.
That's like that is a cultural staple there.
That's what I've heard.
It's I mean,
are you very superstitious as an Italian? Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I'm superstitious, period. Like, I do the whole, like, throw the salt over the shoulder thing. I do the knock on wood to get the fucking fairies out of the woods so they don't curse you thing, you know.
Fair.
All of it.
So at night, one of the crew members had his EVP recording and heard a banging behind him. While he played back the EVP, there was a disembodied voice, and then the bang sounded. They decided to ask their questions in Italian. Smart. Their first question being, "Are you a murderer?" Casual.
the first question I would ask anybody in Italian.
Excuse the fuck out of me. Which, of course, did elicit an immediate response that they heard with their own ears and on the EVP recording.
Which said?
I don't know if it actually said anything, but there were, just mumbles, I guess, that they couldn't make out because Italian, and they're bad at speaking Italian.
That's fair. But I would like a native Italian speaker to listen and, try and translate what the fuck they said. Because I guarantee you, all of them are like, you fucking stunad! Just cussing him out.
Well, let me tell ya.
Oh, tell me.
So, they did measure a few spots that had high electromagnetic readings with, again, no electricity on the island. Mm-hmm. One of the crew members, Nick, stated that whatever was with them was welcome to use his energy.
Oh, dumbass.
Mistake number 1.
Yeah.
Shortly after, there was a shift in the air, and one of the crew members started to feel ill, and their energy completely drained. So it didn't directly affect Nick. It affected his friend.
Yeah, play dumb games, get dumb prizes. Ding, ding, all ding. I fucking have to say there.
I need to make that into a shirt. So once the energy of the crew started to get sucked out, they recorded more voices, sounds of banging like things were being thrown around, and orbs, and even sounds of footsteps walking directly towards them. At one point, they're in the fields where the pit plagues were, where you can hear someone running full sprint through the grass and then across a small wooden bridge and knocking over the infrared camera that they have.
Oh, shit.
So they address them like, hey, what's going on? And they hear, running through the grass right next to them, up to the bridge, and then it knocks over their fucking camera. No, thank you.
It's like a Karate Kid run and jump and kick the camera. Fuck you.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Yeah. Look at me, Naruto run.
Oh no. Oh no. If I saw Ghost Naruto running through the field, I think I would be more proud than afraid.
Wait another 10 years. Let's go ghost hunting. You'll find some. I promise.
Honestly, I think you're correct.
Because I know if I were to, unceremoniously, die today, I would haunt somewhere, and my first thing would be, do-do-do-do-do.
Can you believe that? That's something to think about in, a few years' time. There are going to be weeb ghosts.
Oh my god.
Prowling around the earth.
Oh my god.
And we are fighting dreamers. So, throughout the night, they pick up on electromagnetic hotspots, one with a reading of about 24. And from what I understand about with how electromagnetic readers work, you'll usually get around a 6.
Okay.
So that's considered high when looking for spirits without any influence of electric things around.
Fair.
So 6 compared to 24.
Times
yeah.
4, if I'm not mistaken with math.
That's a lot.
That's times
4.
For
Something for a place, for an entire island that has no electricity. So yeah. It's when they're getting this reading that their equipment starts to die, like something is trying to build up its energy for something. And so that's when our friend Zach completely loses it and starts cursing out his crew and has just a full-on meltdown. And he's just shaking with rage and screaming at something to stop.
Wait.
And yeah.
Is this the same?
This is Zach Bagans, yeah.
Oh, this motherfucking stunad. First you buy 2 of the fucking debit boxes, and now you're on Poveglia Island cussing out your crew?
Well, this is when he was allegedly possessed, but that was also before when he was provoking the spirits. Poking the beehive. So they said, all right, bet. So it is at this point, his crewmate Nick has to calm him down and walk him out of the building. So then further into the investigation, they go over to the site where they burned the bodies, where reports of people walking around have been seen. While heading over there, they hear someone screaming in the distance, and while standing out in the field, the audio picks up a voice yelling, "Zach."
Oh, well, of course, because the motherfucker's, like, going off in the other room.
Literally poking the bear. I would not challenge these spirits here. No fucking thank you. And so, as they do, they eventually split up, and Aaron goes to put the infrared camera up in the bell tower, where he hears something get thrown, and someone shouts at him and starts knocking things over left and right.
Oh, shit.
And then his camera stops working, so he pulls out his machete
Of course he does!
He goes, "Just in case."
You know, I had an ex who had a machete, too, and
she just went somewhere. I saw it in her eyes.
I think I was flashing back to the first time I was in his car alone, because...
Why is there machete in here?
Well, no, it was more of a, why did you pull out the machete? Are you going to kill me?
Oh, God, okay.
I knew it would happen eventually, I just didn't know it would happen now.
Well, no more mentions of the machete for the rest of the episode.
I've had questionable taste in men, okay? It's fine.
Clearly. Friends, listen.
Don't be like me!
Not just that. If there are any, available patrons of the evening, Leyna could use a very nice, soft person to take very good care of her that doesn't own a machete.
The lowest.
Please, listen, the bar is pretty low. Please email me at passmethebooze@gmail.com.
I just need a what is it? A GJB or an NGB.
I don't know.
Or NJB. Nice Jewish boy. That's all I need.
There you go. So, nice Jewish boys, please email me, and we'll do an initial screening, and I will pass along your info to her.
I like that you're screening my boys now.
Listen, only the best for you. Okay?
I don't say this enough, but I love you.
I love you. The feeling is reciprocated.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Mutual respect and love. So rare.
We're not the affectionate type.
We're not.
So, there it is.
There it is.
Love.
Oh my god, alright.
So, as we know, they split up onto different parts of the island. So, we're going to Nick's experience on the island. So
alright. They're not lesser Stunads. Because they split up. What's the first rule of the fucking horror movies?
Don't split up. But
Thank
you know what? I can't speak on that because I would be a hippopotamus. I like splitting up during paranormal investigations because I am an idiot. So, Nick, he tells the spirits where he's at to, quote, again, use my energy.
God, you stupid people!
To which he gets a voice shouting in response. We don't know what it says, but it's clearly shouting. But perhaps creepiest of all, they caught a black mist on one of the cameras nearby, followed by a moaning. Almost immediately afterward, Nick's handheld camera started to malfunction. And so during this time in the room, which was the chapel, he continued to hear a man's voice and knocking around him. When he leaves the room, he leaves one of the cameras behind. The voices continue with the sound of someone screaming. So, Zach goes back to the room where he has his meltdown previously, where he hears footsteps, voices, and moaning, all caught on their audio. Yep, To which he shouts at them, "You're a bastard," in Italian. Good choices. In response, the room goes cold, and Zach hears a voice that says, "Let's fight."
Do it!
They said, "Okay, motherfucker."
Fight!
Challenge accepted.
Yo! That's what I want from my ghosts. I want a strong female character who be like, "No, motherfucker, fists up. Let's go." That's what I want.
You disrespect me in my house? Okay, let's go.
How fucking dare you? Let's go. Throw down, motherfucker, right now.
Bet. So then another voice captured on his recording device. It sounds like it was screeching. And his camera begins to malfunction also.
Okay.
He leaves his recording device behind while continuing to explore, and the device captures a voice in a sing-songy tone that says, "Bye-bye."
I want that as a ringtone. Because all I can be is like, "Bye-bye."
You know that these spirits have dealt with a lot of bullshit from people that have just been sneaking on the island, because as soon as, like, Zach challenges them, they're just like, "All right, motherfucker, let's go." And then he leaves, and they're just like, "Okay, bye."
Yeah, I thought so.
That's what I thought.
They so clearly have the mentality of,
"Please get out of my house." But yeah, that's...
"You wanted this. Bye." And I was like, "Bye-bye." Because genuinely, doesn't it sound like everybody we talk about just is playing dumb fucking games and getting dumb prizes?
Yep. I'm not hating on you, Zach. I'm just
No.
poking fun at you. I'm sure you know that. Like, TBH, I could not do half of the shit that they do going into some of these places.
Like what?
I would pee my fucking pants.
Like what?
Standing alone in the pitch black in some of these abandoned buildings.
I feel like the two of us, if we get tipsy enough, we could do that shit.
Tipsy enough, sure. Sober, I would probably pee my pants.
Let me ask you this, though.
Yes.
When's the last time that you spent 24 hours without alcohol?
Yesterday, actually.
Did you?
I was hungover, but I...
That doesn't count! You were hungover! You still had alcohol in your system, it was just slowly leaving you. No, I mean, when's the last time you went an extended amount of time without drinking?
All right, honestly, it was last week. I didn't have any alcohol in the house that I wanted to drink.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like if we went to Poveglia, we'd be able to find some alcohol you wanted to drink.
Oh, hundo, if I'm in Italy on vacation, you bet your fucking ass I'm drinking.
Dude, they give you shots of limoncello just after a fucking meal.
Oh, well, bless.
Wait, have you had limoncello?
I think so.
Like real limoncello?
Probably not real.
Alright, we're gonna get you some real limoncello.
Bet.
That's gonna be next episode.
Okay.
Because I have multiple bottles of it just at my parents' house because I'm obsessed with that shit and it tastes so fucking.
Yeah.
And that is just a shot.
Okay.
And if you need a chaser,
yes,
for that,
okay,
you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. Hard stop. Okay? It tastes like a fucking lemon drop, but with like sugar and no sour.
I think I may have had one for my 21st birthday, and then that's the last time I had one.
Okay.
So it's been 7 years.
God, we're so old.
No, we're not old. We're not old. So when we say that we're old, we start to look old. I'm not ready to look old yet.
I don't think we look old at all. I think I still get called a student.
Yeah.
What else did Zach and the idiots do?
That's all I have for the hauntings on Poveglia, because people literally refuse to go there, so there aren't many other reports besides what I've found, what I've told you tonight.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that. I'm also now more curious than ever.
Oh,
yeah. And, like, I gotta be honest, I kind of want to go to Venice, period.
yeah.
So, like, let's just go to Poveglia.
Well,
Maybe let COVID pass.
I was gonna say, let's see what happens with this whole pandemic thing.
Would you be really that heartbroken if we, like, got stuck in Italy because the borders closed?
Oh no, that would be so terrible. Oh
no.
no. That has accessible health care
And really good food.
wine and
Wine without, whatchamacallits in it.
sulfates.
Sulfates that give you hangovers.
Oh no.
Oh no. Limoncello after every meal. Oh no.
Jeez. Tragic.
Alright.
Alright, y'all. Well.
Alright. Peace out. Ace Town down.